Have you ever seen something that wasn't actually there? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're going to trick your eyes to show you how they really work. All right, first up, let's put your eyes to the test. We're about to create a pretty cool illusion using nothing but, well, the screen you're looking at and the amazing cells inside your very own eyes. Okay, for this to work, I'm going to need you to really focus. For the next 30 seconds, just stare directly at the flag that's on your screen. Seriously, try not to blink or look away. Ready? All right, now, quickly look at a blank white space, like a wall or a piece of paper. Did you see it? You should be seeing a kind of ghostly afterimage of the flag. But wait a minute. It's in its familiar red, white, and blue. So what in the world is going on? Why did you just see something that isn't really there? To figure this out, we need to pop the hood and take a look inside the incredible machine that is your eye. Okay, so your eye, at its core, works a lot like a super sophisticated camera. Its number one job is to grab all the light from the world around you and focus it into a nice, sharp image. You can almost think of it like an assembly line for light. First, light hits the cornea. That's the transparent outer layer, kind of like the front window. It does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to bending the light. Then, that light passes through the pupil and gets fine-tuned by the lens, which is like your own personal autofocus. Finally, a perfectly focused image gets projected onto the retina, which is basically the light-sensitive screen at the very back of your eye. Now, your iris and pupil, they're the gatekeepers here. They're constantly adjusting how much light gets in, just like the aperture on a camera. The iris, that's the colored part of your eye, is actually a muscle that controls the size of the pupil. When you're out in the bright sun, it squeezes that pupil down to a tiny little pinpoint. But step into a dark room, it opens wide up to let in every single last photon it can find. So how does your eye do that incredible thing where it can instantly switch focus from, say, a distant mountain to the phone right here in your hand? What's the secret? Well, it's a process called accommodation. Think of it as your eye's built-in lightning-fast autofocus system, and it's all thanks to the amazing flexibility of your lens. It's actually this fascinating little dance of opposing forces. To see something far away, tiny muscles in your eye relax. This pulls on these little ligaments, which stretches the lens out thin and flat. But to focus on something up close, those same muscles contract. This makes the ligaments go slack and lets the lens kind of spring back into a thicker, rounder shape, which bends the light way more sharply. Pretty clever, right? Okay, so we've got the light captured and perfectly focused. What now? Well, the next step is to convert that light into a signal the brain can actually understand. And that is the job of the retina. Yeah, just think of the retina as the sensor in a digital camera. It's this neural tissue lining the back of your eye, and it is absolutely packed with millions of light-detecting cells. And folks, this is where the real magic happens, turning pure light energy into electrical signals the brain can actually read. So these light-detecting cells, they come in two main types, but it is not an even split, not by a long shot. In fact, for every one cone cell you have, you've got about 20 rod cells. We're talking about a whopping 90 million rods compared to just 4.5 million cones in each eye. So why the huge imbalance? Well, it all comes down to their very, very different jobs. Okay, so here's the key difference you gotta remember. Rods, they're your night vision specialists. They are super sensitive to even the dimmest light, but they only see in shades of gray, no color, and they can't pick out fine details. Cones, on the other hand, are all about that crisp, high-definition color vision. But here's the catch. They only work when it's bright out. In the dark, they are completely offline. And this actually explains why you're constantly moving your eyes around without even thinking about it. You're aiming this tiny little spot at the center of your retina called the fovea at whatever you want to see clearly. The fovea is your high-def zone. It's packed almost exclusively with those color-loving cone cells. In fact, right now, your eyes are working hard to make sure these words land perfectly on your fovea for maximum sharpness. All right, now that we know about the tools, especially the different jobs of our rods and our cones, we can finally go back and solve the mystery of that phantom flag from the beginning. So what you experienced was a classic case of something called cone fatigue. See, by staring at those turquoise stripes, which are a mix of blue and green light, you essentially wore out your blue and green cones. You tire them out. Then, when you looked at the white backgrounds, which contains all the colors, red, green, and blue, your tired blue and green cones just couldn't respond very strongly. But your red cones, they were totally rested and fired at full strength. So your brain got this huge red signal and only a weak little blue/green signal. and it interpreted the stripes as red. Cool, huh? And the exact same thing happened with your rods, the guys that see in black and white. The rods that were looking at the bright parts of the flag, they got tired out, bleached from all the light. But the rods that were staring at the black stripes and stars were fresh and ready to go. So when you looked at that bright white screen, the tired rods didn't fire much, but the rested rods fired like crazy. And your brain took that pattern of no signal here and strong signal there and created a perfect negative afterimage where the black parts suddenly looked white. So this whole illusion proves a really crucial point. Seeing isn't just a physical process of light hitting some cells. Nope. The final, and honestly, the most important step happens in that powerful supercomputer you've got between your ears. You see, your eyes are really just the receptors. Their job is to convert light into these little electrochemical impulses that travel down the optic nerve. The retina's job is done once it sends that signal. It captures the data, sure, but it doesn't create the picture. The real artist here, the one that actually constructs your visual reality, is your brain. That's right. Your brain gets these raw signals and interprets them, turning them into the rich, seamless images you think of as seeing the world. You don't truly see with your eyes, you see with your brain. So that afterimage you saw, it isn't a flaw in your vision. It's actually proof that your perception of the world is an active construction, not just some passive recording like a video camera. Your brain is building what you see. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. If your brain creates images that aren't really there, what else is it constructing?